Well, uh, it's a evolving, thing. Personalities are always evolving. If I were to trace myself right from the childhood up till this moment, uh, gone through many phases, many changes. From a extremely passionate, driven, and temperamental to now trying to be a lot more calm, more I would say composed, and I think taking little easy in life. Okay, little easy, and that doesn't mean losing intensity. Because I think a lot of many a times we believe the intensity must reflect in your the way you speak and the way you conduct yourself. It is true and untrue both. I'm trying to be intense without really being too I would say vocal, and too I would say being seen as aggressive. Okay, so this has been my effort. But as a person, I would say I take things seriously. I must tell you that, and it's important. Being serious in life is important. If you really want to do something meaningful, something important, it's extremely important that you are passionate, you are driven, and you are somebody who is taking things with so much of commitment to it, and then you rally people together. So this is how I am. I always like to take challenges. I always like to experiment new things, and I'm not somebody who is afraid of trying out new things, whether in terms of things within the organization or even in my career. Okay, I get bored if I'm doing same thing again and again and again for a longer period. So this is on the professional front. I believe in building a deep relationship. I think for me the trust and transparency, commitment, dedication are important quality. And of course, integrity, a very important qualities, which I see in any colleague. And thereafter, I just let people manage things, and I expect the same thing, from my superiors and my seniors, that they should give me space, they should give me room to maneuver, and do my job. And I don't like, if I'm being kept under too much of leash and too much of control. That's something. Not that I don't believe in accountability, and I hide things, but I should be given space, and I do give space. So this is what my style is. So this has been my second stint with Mahindra Group. I joined in 2005, worked for 2.5 years as part of Mr. Arun Nanda's team, and I worked on this Mahindra World City Jaipur project, and I'm very happy what I did there. It was a remarkable experience for me. And then I left, joined Mumbai Airport, GVK Group, and then came back to Mahindra and Life Spaces. And I was doing actually quite okay there, quite well, I must say that, in Mahindra Life Spaces as a head of business development. And then this opportunity came. This business was just being incubated at that time. It was just an idea, I would say, nothing beyond. There were a couple of people, one gentleman called Vish Palekar, and Parag and Zubin used to know me a little bit, during my both due to my role in the Jaipur project and also being part of Mahindra Life Spaces. And given that EPC business requires a lot of project-related experience, somebody who has handled project, and I did have a project experience, due to my past experience, in Vedanta and Aditya Birla Group, and even in land permit approval related kind of government licensing kind of stuff, during my Jaipur SEZ project and even in Life Spaces. So I was asked that, am I interested in this role? And I immediately agreed for one simple reason, that there was an opportunity for me to create something, from scratch. And I always used to love that running a show, where these things are already well settled and all, gives you a different kind of experience and thrill. But creating something from this scratch, from ground up, is a very different kind of challenge. So from just the concept, to bringing it to fruition, uh, bringing team together, writing every single SOP, processes, HR policies too. Though we had access to many of such things from Mahindra Group, but given that Mahindra never had any major presence in project business, we had to practically start from scratch. And this is how the journey started off. Exciting journey. I was given charge of utility scale EPC business, and then gradually things kept adding. The C&I business, rooftop business. Then came the IPP business, and then we started many more things. Like a TECO and thing, and then we started build. That did not work out. Not that the team did not do a good job. Team did a phenomenal job, but well, I would say we were not the best suited, given the challenge of the business. It has been a great journey. I mean, ups and downs always been part of any business, and this business is cyclical because it is usually controlled or influenced by the government policies, and government policies are always, I would say, erratic. They say a lot. I mean, government is doing a lot, I must say that, but power sector itself is very complicated subject in India. Because of the financial health of the DISCOM and transmission infrastructure and all that. But I think overall very promising, very, very, very massive, huge learning for me. It has taught me how to really look at business from a holistic perspective, because prior to that, though I had an opportunity to lead a business unit and during my Vedanta time, but the skill was very different. Here, putting a team together of almost 1,200 plus people, keeping and having such a wonderful colleague. I think what really made us work, this thing, I got some phenomenal colleagues, and many of them, came through our internal references. Some of them were known to me prior to I came on board here. So it has been a journey full of, I would say, ups and downs, but I think more ups and less down, and thanks to the support extended by my seniors, my board of directors, and even the Mahindra partners, that and also my colleague, it has been an extremely fulfilling experience for me. I think this the business requires a lot of agility. You always recall what has worked for you, say 6 months back, is not going to hold good for you. So the change the pace at which the changes are happening is phenomenal. So how do you really keep your team agile? How do you keep your team engaged? This is one. Second thing is big learning for me is when you are a small organization, you operate in a different manner. Then the camaraderie, the closeness, proximity, the bonding is extremely high, and that actually makes a massive difference. You can galvanize people, together, and very different kind of energy. Once the organization becomes big, then you start seeing a little bit of, challenges, of managing, maintaining the same momentum, same level of commitment, energy, and passion and drive. And then, so I think, how do you stay agile? How do you stay maintain that camaraderie, that proximity, that closeness, that the bonding, even if when you become big, is a massive learning for me. And it's not that you cannot do it once you grow, but you need to change your approach. You need to then you alone cannot be the person who is driving these this passion and passion, but I think there has to be many more people who will carry this flag. So I think this is something which I have learned, and now trying to sort of second thing is make sure that you maintain that core team. Okay, keep that core team and guide them, mentor them, coach them, because as organization grows, you alone cannot really be enough to take it to the next level. You need to have many more people. So I think investing in them, bringing them to to the next level is equally important. So these are some of the learnings, from an overall organizational perspective is what I think, I think the ability of team to really come together in the moment of crisis. For me, this has been a great, and I've seen people really not branding themselves, in a particular role, but they've always been, like in the moment of crisis, okay, they've always gone beyond the normal call of duty. And I keep saying, like the early stages of Lucknow project, and that was a project, which was in a very precarious situation, and due to some blunders, which we committed, I must say that, I admit it. But then it was the sheer commitment of team and also grace of Almighty God. I would say it's a combination of both that led us to, that helped us to come out of that crisis in a very exemplary manner. Today, that plant is one of the most performing plant, and we and not that we lost money there, or we of course it was the sheer ingenuity and then the drive of the team, which rescued that project. And I think that time I realized, oh my God, the power of team. Okay, the power of a committed team. Phenomenal. People like Shantanu, Ankit, Nikhil, Sumit Agrawal, Rajni, who is no longer with us. Now Ram. And these are the people who have really put. And I think when some brilliant people, committed people, put their mind together, some miraculous thing happen, and Lucknow is a clear example. There are many more, I would say. Sakaka project, a recent one, it was again in a difficult situation, but again, sheer commitment of the team and drive and passion of the team, they brought this project together and made that Sakaka project as one of the best in that region. So there are many more, but I can only pick a couple. See, my work is my worship, and I must tell you that, many a time people say work-life balance. I said, look, if I don't work, I get very jittery. Okay. Though not that, and I hate, I don't like spending time with my family. I do read, I do spend time with family, with my children, my wife, and but I'm a close family person. I don't have a very large circle. I don't hang out, go out and party. That's not in my nature. But I think the work gives me a lot of kick, a quality work, something which is good. And I think, when I see people doing great stuff, some of the team member, I feel very pleased. And I say, look, whatever little contribution I have made, towards their success, that gives me immense, satisfaction. So if I'm working on something productive, something good, I really do not get tired, because I'm working for more number of hours. So quality work really helps me unwind. Okay. And thereafter, as I said, listening to a little bit of music and cooking, of course, as I do over the weekend. Well, I cook only very few dishes, so I wouldn't call myself as a great cook. But yeah, I do enjoy. But that's something where I'm in my zone. I'm not bothered about anything. So this is how I unwind myself. I think many people. I would say many people. Of course, when I look at the person whom I got influenced the most at the early childhood is my own father. He had a very humble background, had a lot of challenges in his personal life, got abducted by a dacoit at the age of 18 and was in captivity for 31 days. But he is a person of sheer grit, and so I never seen him like pushing anything for tomorrow. He's a man of today. Whatever can happen on tomorrow, he would like to do it yesterday. So always in hurry, always trying to do good thing for family and for the people around him. So I think and then it's very strong work ethics and also strong, very very particular about his personal life. Very disciplined life. And I wish I can be as disciplined as my father is, but I think these are some of the qualities I imbibed from my father. My mother is extremely religious and very kind. And I think that little bit of spirituality and religious bent of mind I carry is thanks to my mother. So they were the big influence on me. Thereafter, many people in professional life, but one such person was a gentleman called B.N. Puran Malka, who was my like my real first boss. He was one of the senior director in Aditya Birla Group, and again a person of a very modest background, extremely, I would say, a poor family, and he rose up to that level is incredible. Again, integrity, commitment, the passion with which a silent person, will not speak much, his body speaks a lot, his eyes speak a lot, and tremendous commitment, and the extremely high level of I would say honesty and a kindness. I think he was one of the biggest. I had an opportunity to work with him for a couple of years. Huge influence on me, and I'm grateful to have someone like him as my boss at the early stages of my career. And then of course I keep looking at Anand Mahindra as a icon. Again, somebody who's always open for ideas, somebody who's extremely carries such a high humility, and irrespective of the way he deals with people. He does not care at what level you are. He respects a person as a person, not because the position at which you are. I think many people, many people I can't name. There are people in sports, they are like, look at somebody like Sachin Tendulkar. How do you keep playing cricket at that level for 20 years, with the same passion and zeal? I think it's amazing. You are doing the same stuff again and again and again, so many times, thousands of times, and you still carry that childlike enthusiasm, so I think it's amazing. Well, the Indian solar story is here to stay. Okay, what we would have ideally liked it to have a more stable policy regime, where there's a consistency in tendering process, there's a little bit of more work around the facilitation and permits and approval, and also the solar park concept was great, but could not get enough traction. And then the financial condition of the DISCOM. Some events in a state like Andhra Pradesh, renegotiation. I think those have been a big dampener. But I think given the tariff at which, at the level at which the solar tariffs are, I think this is by far the cheapest source of energy, and it is now standing on its own feet. Doesn't require any policy or massive incentive. However, power being both central and state subject, more of a state subject, I think that the close coordination between state and central government is important, though because of federal structure, unfortunately, many times that comes in the way. I'm very bullish about this industry. I think people are now becoming more and more comfortable about the future of this industry. I would say that we should become more self-reliant, in terms of manufacturing, and I think government has already started putting in a lot of effort, to create an ecosystem of manufacturer in India, and I think that will be a big movement of reckoning, for us, that we become self-sufficient right from the raw material to the generating, and in fact we become an export hub, for the product. India has a capability, so and that will also mean that it's a fully indigenous story, and that will again require a lot of government support, policy facilitation, because these are large investment, and obviously any investor would like to have a visibility, policy visibility. So overall, and with the advent of batteries and hybrid, I think solar is now emerging. Solar cum battery and wind is emerging as a true alternative to a fossil fuel based power. Well, not that we have thought of. We would like to first perfect our EPC offering, and there are many other initiatives going on. But we will be open to have a partnership with somebody, but very early stage. We have not given any serious thought to it. Well, I think this business can grow to an amount which I can't even imagine, to a level rather, I would say, not more than amount, because of sheer potential. What is really required, that, as I said, to stay relevant, to stay contemporary, to keep adopting new technology and stay ahead of curve. And I must say that there has been a lot of focus over the last couple of years on technology front, on innovation, be it hybrid project or project in any kind of strata or any kind of terrain. We call it terraform. So a lot of things are going on: improvement, simplification, engineering, digitalization. I see a massive role for a system integrator, going forward. And this is a capability which seems simple on face of it, but it's not that simple. Many developers, felt that ultimately solar EPC is nothing. It's just putting things panel together, and those very I would say easy civil work. No, it does involve good amount of engineering, and with the hybrid storage coming in, I think the complexity will only increase. So I see Susten being poised to take advantage of it. If India continue to install, say, 10 to 15 gigawatt per annum, which it seems will be the case, there's no reason why Susten should not do about 3 gigawatt out of this 15 gigawatt, and and offer world-class system integration capability to the developer, which will enable them to have the world top-class plant, which are performing high-performing plants, and then can last much beyond their design life. So I think we would like to continue to grow this business. We are in a business which is clean, which into clean energy. This gives also a lot of satisfaction. We operate in a lot of rural areas, where we work closely with the community and work towards their upliftment. So there are social angle also to it, apart from the commercial success of this business. And I must say that Susten that way has been extremely focused around social well-being also, as much as ensuring that we run as a commercial enterprise, but also as a social enterprise. So I see this Susten as a company which could become, has a potential to become a global powerhouse in system integration and EPC business, and of course in the asset management business, through its arm called Mahindra Teco. So how much, what kind of impact have you brought to the lives of the people, or the stakeholders, I would say, be it your vendor or the society, the surrounding areas of your plant, or your employees, or everybody whom you touch. Okay. And for me, success is not about just delivering ROE, okay, or ROCE. I think that is one parameter of success, which is important. I'm not denying it. Unless you deliver financial results, I don't think anybody will be interested in your business. Ultimately we are a commercial, but I don't think they are mutually exclusive. You can still deliver a great financial result, and be extremely socially responsible. And we have tried to strike a balance between these two. I wouldn't like to deliver a top-notch ROE, and I'm not doing good to the ecology and to the stakeholders around me. To me, that's not really the success. And we have been very particular since beginning. How do we deal with our own people? How do we invest in them? Vendors, where generally in EPC business, vendors are very ill treated, but I must take pride in saying that our vendors are our partners, and it is because of them that we are where we are. And not just the vendors who supply material, but also who execute projects for us, do small time integration job for us, and we have seen them growing, and we have always assisted them. We have created many village entrepreneurs. We believe in skilling people, training people, and ensuring that they also realize their vision and mission in their life. So I think the overall well-being of the society is what, and that's where Mahindra Rise Value comes into picture. And I must proudly say that we are trying to live up to the true, living up to the three tenets of Mahindra Rise, and will continue to do so. And I would say, guys, you have really slogged hard, you have worked hard, and thank you very much for everything you have done for this organization. I know the kind of personal sacrifices each one of you have made, to bring this company, to a level, where we are today. Without any doubt, there is a strong perception among customer that we are a very customer-centric organization, a quality and a transparent organization. It could be made possible only because of the sheer values and commitment, demonstrated by each one of you. We are in an exciting time, and we are in a business, which will continue to grow. And I'm sure, we will achieve greater success together, and make Susten as an organization which is socially responsible yet commercially successful.